Welcome to the Anime Therapy Podcast, episode 5. I'm your host, Just Bailey Alive. Thank you for joining us. With me today is a good friend of mine who I've known for way too long. Even though it's only been like 4 years. It's probably been like 3 or 4 years, and that's still too long.
Yeah.
Skylar, aka BrownGod, welcome in.
That's me.
That's me! Alright, well, yeah, thank you for coming on. I'm really excited about this because, I honestly, like, we've talked about anime before, but I really don't have, like, the most clear grasp on your anime, you know, life and world on it, you know? So I'm pretty excited to hear your takes, and I can't wait to, you know, be like, oh yeah, I've never heard of that. Or that, or that, or I've never watched that, because that happens all the time.
Nice. I don't know. My top 5. I think you've probably seen all of my top 5.
Okay, I'm excited for that because I don't want to just be like, oh cool, okay, all right, and you know, people are just super excited to like give their top 5, and I'm just like, nice, okay. I don't know.
Great.
Didn't see it.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Well, let's start off this episode the way I start off every episode, which is asking you what the first anime you ever watched, knowing that it was anime. And that's a very specific question because of Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Those are all technically animes.
It would have been Naruto. Naruto would have been the first one. But I knew I was watching anime.
And was that on Toonami, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
I couldn't tell you were a Naruto fan.
I don't know.
Got my little Naruto pop figures up there. Got my Naruto manga right here.
I don't think we actually have any Naruto figures. There's many up here, but I don't think any of them are Naruto.
Is that All Might up there? I see All Might, and is that Rimuru?
Yes.
Rimuru
There is an All Might, Rimuru. There is
Pikachu.
Midoriya. There is Asta. I have.
You have Asta?
Yeah, he's right in the middle. He's right in between, Rimuru and All Might.
Oh yeah, I see him now.
There's a Goblin Slayer.
Oh yes.
Pikachu. I have a Baby Yoda pop figure that was like super great actually, and then the main cast of My Hero as fantasy characters.
Oh yeah. I remember seeing those. Yeah. That was actually a really cool thing.
There, but
like, as far as, you know, as much as people crap on My Hero Academia, I think that was one of the really cool things where in the outro they had done like a D&D fantasy-esque like thing with all the characters. Oh, that was cool.
It threw me off at first. I was like, is this the same show? Is this foreshadowing? What is this?
Is this good content?
Is it?
So Naruto was your first, and how old were you when you recognized Naruto as an anime?
God, I was probably in middle school, honestly. Middle school or like early high school. I can't remember exactly, but it was back when I still had my bowl cut.
As we all
Good
did
times.
at one point in our lives, yeah.
Good times, yep.
Yeah. You with the bowl cut, that's just actually an amazing image for me. Because you've always had your hair either like grown out and messy or like nicely cut. Can't even imagine.
There was a time where it was like this long, roughly. Yeah.
That's when you really were the BrownGod.
Yeah, well, some things never change.
Yeah. Sip, sip.
Drinks aggressively.
Yeah. Oh, it's cool. So, like middle school, high school-ish. I know for me, Naruto was also... Well, Naruto was my beginning to watching anime. Like, it wasn't my first where I knew it was anime, but I had also seen it before I had watched an anime. I just didn't know that Naruto was an anime. I thought it was another, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Type. Yeah, that when I was, like, starting my journey into anime, which I had to have been like 16 or 17, like 20 years ago. I was watching Naruto and I was like, oh yeah, I remember watching this as a kid and really enjoying it, and then completely went downhill and into the dark anime right from there, like Death Note, Elfen Lied, Gurren Lagann. Which Gurren Lagann doesn't come off initially as a dark show, but it starts off pretty fucking dark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It has.
Yeah, that was like my favorites before I knew that they were anime. I guess you could say my gateway animes were Dragon Ball Z, original Dragon Ball, and Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
That was the OG for me. I didn't know that they were anime at the time and that the seed was being planted, but
yeah.
And now we're here, and I've watched all Naruto and Naruto Shippuden in basically one sitting.
Which is better, Naruto or Naruto Shippuden?
I think I like original Naruto better.
Let's go!
I like Shippuden. I like Shippuden a lot, but I think that original Naruto was more about Naruto, and Shippuden was more like the Leaf Village - goes to war.
Mm-hmm.
It was less about Naruto, and it was more about the world as a whole.
Yeah, my biggest thing about, and I also am like Naruto over Shippuden, but my biggest thing was that in Naruto it felt like you're watching a show about ninjas, and in Shippuden eventually you're like, oh wait, oh yeah, they're ninjas. Yeah, I kind of completely forgot about that because they're doing God mode shit and alien stuff. I'm like, it didn't feel like
you're supposed to be a ninja, not a Super Saiyan. What the
yeah, you're not supposed to be Gundam, okay? You're
right.
Like he's straight up Gundams in Kurama mode, and it's like, okay.
When he puts on the Susanoo over the
dude, that honestly, it was supposed to be such a hype, cool moment. And if you watch the intro to, I think it's Stiletto, where it might be Stiletto, might be something else, but it doesn't even happen in the show. They just have like Susanoo riding Kurama mode while he's doing the arrow, and I looked at him like, now I understand that that's supposed to be cool. That looks so bad.
Not.
It looked so lame. Basically, Sasuke was riding Naruto. Kiss, 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 kiss. Yeah, I love that Naruto's first kiss was Sasuke, and so was Sasuke's to Naruto.
Oh yeah, it's great.
I'm gonna throw up them kissing right here. Well, that's cool. I we've already had our shonen episode, but I feel like this is gonna be shonen part 2.
A little bit.
I have a feeling
maybe not.
Yeah, I have a feeling that you have a little bit more of a broader, I guess, interest. Like I'm sure you know just as much shonen, but like your interests are like a bit half and half, right? Like shonen, how you grew up, but then because like with the Dane episode, he mentioned you about Goblin Slayer.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, and
it's right there. He's right there.
Yeesh. We'll get into Goblin Slayer in a second, but I did want to know.
Or is Goblin Slayer gonna get into you?
I don't know. I didn't watch enough. I dropped it after the first episode.
Yeah, that one was rough. I finished it.
Yeah.
By the way, Dane, eat shit. I finished it.
Yeah, eat shit, Dane. You're getting tagged in this. So I did want to before we got into the darker side of anime, which I know you and I will definitely get into because we do like some pretty fucked up anime. I did want to ask if there was an anime that you were recommended a lot that you ended up enjoying, and an anime you were recommended a lot that you didn't enjoy as much, or didn't.
The second one I've got nailed 100%.
Okay.
There are a lot that fit into the first category. There's a lot of shows that I've been recommended that I really, really, really liked. I mean, if I just go off the list really quickly, Akame ga Kill was actually a recommendation. Phenomenal, by the way, amazing. Oh goodness, what's that one?
Was it the one with the boobies?
One, I mean, well, who doesn't like a good period? It's the one. Shit, what is it called?
One Piece? You had half of it.
No. Hey, no, ew, gross.
No!
Oh, don't worry, I'll get to One Piece. Just you wait. The Lelouch, whatever his name is.
Code Geass.
Yes, Code Geass. That was great. I loved that. There's so many like one-season shows too that I watched that were really, really good. They're obscure, so I don't necessarily remember all of them. But a recent one was this. It was a Chinese anime that is relatively new.
I think I know what it is.
It's on Netflix. It's oh god.
Oh, it's on Netflix. Okay,
It's on Netflix and it's on Crunchyroll. Why can't I find it?
Is it the? It's not Shaman King, is it?
It is.
Yeah, Shaman King.
I think.
Yeah.
Let me.
Because that was like all over Netflix when it first came out.
Okay, no, it's not. I watched a little bit of that. I wasn't a huge fan of that one, honestly. It was okay. But it didn't
grab
really
you by the cojones.
It didn't tickle my pickle, you know?
Yeah, I feel you. I feel that pickle. Well, while you're looking for that, what about the one that you have nailed for the one that you were recommended that you didn't like?
One Piece. 100%.
Oh my god, yeah.
Trash anime.
No, it's
so
not.
Bad.
It's not trash.
Bro, I watched the first like 3 arcs or something, and I hated every second of it because you were trying to get me to watch it. My other friend was trying to get me to watch it, and I was like, fine, screw it. I'll try the show. I watched something like 80 or 100 episodes, and I was like, nope, nope, can't do it. This is not. And maybe it gets better later on, maybe it does, but it's so far gone to the point where like I'm not gonna sit down and watch 1,200 episodes. Like I just don't have the time.
It's over 1,000, but not over 1,100 yet. I will say, reading it is a lot faster and it's a lot better.
Sure.
If the thing is like my biggest thing is you can't call an anime trash unless you've seen it all. That's why I recently went and watched all of Fairy Tail.
We talked about that.
Yeah, I was saying Fairy Tail was trash, and I was like, you know what? I haven't watched it all. And now that I have, it is trash.
Let me rephrase then. It was not. It did not grab my attention in the first however many hours 100 or so episodes is.
Yeah.
And that's more than enough for me to be like, no.
Yeah.
Okay, I found it. It's called The Daily Life of the Immortal King.
Yeah, okay. I do know of that. I didn't watch it, but
it was pretty good. It wasn't bad. There's 2 more seasons or something, so I'm gonna eventually go back and watch that, but
are you the type of person to like watch just a random new anime? Or are you more of like the rewatch old ones that I already know I like kind of guy?
I have this weird thing where I don't usually like rewatching, replaying, or rereading things. So I generally won't replay games. I won't rewatch shows or movies even for the most part. Obviously, like out of scope, but Lord of the Rings is in the category of movies I will obviously rewatch indefinitely.
Harry Potter for me.
Yeah. But and then it's I have this weird thing about rewatching and re-going through stuff. Even like books, I won't reread most books.
You wouldn't like if you were, I don't know, grinding in an MMO or playing a single player game and like have an anime. Like that's how my mind works. I have to multitask my brain, so I have to have an anime up while I play a game I've already played before. If I'm playing a game that I've already played before, if I'm playing a new game, everything is off, and I focus on that. But if I'm playing a game I've already played before and I just want to play it again, or say I got it on Xbox but now I have it on Steam and I want to get the achievements again, I'm just going through it. I have to put up an anime that I've also already seen, so I can like multitask my brain, so I can just like zone out and do it.
See, I have a couple of friends who do that, and it's just
It's autistic. That's what it is.
I wanna.
It really is.
I wanna be either in one or the other. Like I don't I don't want to have to split my focus like that.
Yeah.
Like I do that when I'm working. I'll listen to music or like I'll listen to a podcast. Like I was listening to your anime podcast while I was at work last week.
Hey,
Um,
represent, nice.
and that is like the extent of it, mainly because I need something to help me focus. Whereas if I'm playing a game or I'm playing or watching a show, I want to focus on what I'm playing or what I'm watching. Like I don't want to bounce back and forth.
Yeah. I'm having a
As
really hard time right now because I have a bunch of game because I have a PS4 now, and this is gonna get a little gamey, not as anime-y, but I'll mention an anime game in there just to justify it. But my girlfriend gave me her PS4, and I was always an Xbox gamer. And once I got rid of my Xbox, I focused solely on Steam and PC gaming. And then I got the PS4, and honestly, the one thing that I like more about the PlayStation than I do the Xbox is that you get a trophy that like signifies that you got all the other trophies, which Xbox doesn't do.
Yeah.
Some games have the achievement, get all the other achievement, but PlayStation
But it's
has
built in the game, yeah. Whereas on PlayStation side, it's built into the actual PlayStation.
Yeah, and you could show people this is how many platinum trophies I have. So I've been going through and doing games that I know I've gotten all the achievements for. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna rack up as many platinum trophies as I can. So I'm going through the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games again, right, and getting those. But that's the thing, is that like I could shut my brain off and just replay these games just to get those platinum trophies and watch.
Yeah, sure.
Like I'm watching Haikyuu right now. I'm almost done with Haikyuu. And then there'll be games where I'm like, I want to play this for the story, right? Because I've never played it and it's a PlayStation exclusive or whatever. I'm having a hard time sitting down and just turning the volume on my TV and sitting there playing it, because I get so used to just shutting my brain off. And you know, after editing for hours, I'm like, I just want to watch an anime and play a game mindlessly until I fall asleep.
Sure.
Like South Park, you know, those games are just, I've played them on every single console. I've literally played them. I own it 5 times.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, that's like, I don't necessarily have a ton of time to play video games or watch anime, so it's like that's part of why I either do one or the other, because I get home generally, I don't know, like 8:30, 9 o'clock usually, and I have to be up early the next day, so I usually have like a couple hours, so I'm not gonna do both at once, and I don't even have the attention span to do both because my brain's already a scrambled egg at that point.
Yeah. Do you have like a husbando or like a waifu above all others?
100%.
Okay.
Well, okay.
I feel like it's hard for people to pick one.
I have one that is pretty damn close to being like.
Can I guess your number one husbando? Is it Gojo?
No.
From Jujutsu Kaisen? Okay. I mean, to quote Matt from the last episode, yum.
I mean, yeah, delicious. Absolutely delicious.
I'd slurp him up. What?
Those eyes, bro.
Talk about getting lost in the eyes.
Yeah.
For eternity.
Forever. No, if I had to pick an anime daddy, as it were, I would have to pick Yami from Black Clover.
Yes, let's. Oh my God, I have a Black Clover fan in here. Yes, finally, we can talk about Black Clover. Oh my God, are you caught up with the manga?
I am not.
Okay. Have you only watched the anime? I didn't
read it. I've only watched the anime.
Okay.
I haven't read it, and I mean, I've seen bits and pieces of things that I really didn't want to see bits and pieces of because it's the internet.
Yeah.
But I have tried to stay away from the manga because we like to watch shows a lot, and so we'll have like 2 or 3 or 4 different concurrent animes that we're watching.
Yeah.
And so that's one of them that we just let it roll back around and watch it when it comes up. And I don't want spoilers. Like, I don't want to read ahead and be like, oh, I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, there are some shows where I'm fine with it, but that's one where I'm like, nope, I'm not going to look. I'm not going to do anything because I don't want to ruin it.
It's just unfortunate that the anime's over. It's done. So the only thing left is to read the manga once you catch up.
Well, no, they're doing a movie.
Which is non-canon. It's a non-manga canon.
No, it's coming back for another anime series. I'm 100% sure.
Dude, I've done so much research on Black Clover. I was like, dude, because like, yes, I've heard like they want to.
Did you watch the anime? Where the anime ended, there's no way. There's no way that.
Okay. Let me throw this to you. Hunter x Hunter did the same thing.
Not by choice.
Sure, but also.
And we're getting another season of Hunter x Hunter.
We are after what?
Too many years.
After 8 years. After 8 years of it finishing.
Too many years.
Yeah. So
you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance. That's the thing is like once it was done, yeah, and I was really bummed because it was like it ended literally right before the Spade Kingdom arc, and I won't spoil anything, but I do highly recommend that you do read the manga because I don't think that the anime will come back to finish.
If it turns out that this is one where they don't finish it, I will read it.
Okay.
And it will actually be the first manga I would ever read. I've never read a manga book before. I've only
like a
watched
full
anime.
series, or like you've never read manga at all?
I've never read manga at all.
What? That's so surprising to me. Well, your wife reads manga.
Yes, a lot.
Yeah.
She used to a lot. I mean, there's a whole. Let's see. She has over here Maximum Ride.
Oh, that's funny. It's a manga on an English story. Yeah.
Short-tempered, melancholic, something. I see Bleach, Naruto, Spy Family.
Yeah.
Kami-sama's Kiss or something. Blackbird, which is apparently her favorite manga ever. And then there's Wanted. There's more. I just don't know where they are right now.
Yeah. I think it's funny that the first one you mentioned is a manga that's based off of a James Patterson book series. So it's English.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is funny because I've also read the Maximum Ride manga, but I also read the books. And James Patterson is known for having like 300 to 500 page books. It's a great series, but I thought it was really cool that they created a manga series off of an English book series. Same thing with Cirque du Freak. Cirque du Freak also had that. It was a English book series, and then they made a manga off of it. And I've read a bit, but it's just very hard to find certain volumes. And I wanted to mention because we said something and it like made me think about it. I do really like that when you like. For me, I'm always at home and my jobs are always very varied. So I feel like it's perfect for someone who like works all day, has to get up in the morning, that would be the type of person that would watch new animes weekly, right? Because you only have 1 or 2 episodes, right?
And that's kind of why it fits into both our schedules, actually, is because it's just we have an hour of shows to watch versus however many hours 1,000 episodes is.
Yeah, and if you're already caught up and you're just watching all the new ones that are week to week, then you're caught up, you catch up, right? And you have days where you don't have to catch up, right? And then, Wednesday comes around and 2 episodes, or Sunday 1 episode, or Saturday 2 episodes, right? Of like all the new manga, because some of them overlap. I think that works out perfectly. For me, because I have so much free time, I'm so far behind on anime. Like, there's so many things that came out this month that I'm like super excited about.
I mean, what did we have this month? We had Chainsaw Man, which I watched first episode of that. The new part of Spy Family.
Yep.
My Hero Macadamia Nut started.
Macadamia Nut. Yep. Which I'm not gonna watch, but it's because I've already read it, and
there's
Mob Psycho season 3.
Mob Psycho. Yep, I started that.
Yeah. There's some other things.
Saga is supposed to be this month, I think. This month or next month.
Okay.
There's a bunch more. I just don't remember the rest of them off the top of my head.
Yeah. There's also Devil's Part-Timer season 2.
Finished that already. That's season 2 of that was. Well, I'm sure we'll get there.
I haven't watched any of it. I watched the first
Oh, you
episode.
should.
I know. I've heard how good it is, and I
It's
want
so
to watch
good.
it. I'm really bad at watching new anime, and as someone who hosts an anime podcast, I should probably get better at that.
Shame.
Yeah, I know.
May
what-
all your bacon burn.
Yeah. You said Husbando Yami,
Yes.
aka Yami. I absolutely love Black Clover, and I think he's just such an amazing character. That's a Christopher Sabat voiced character too, and you know, I'm a little biased, but also he's just so fucking awesome. What about waifu? You got one or two among all? Max 3.
I have one that keeps jumping to the forefront of my mind that is just absolutely the top tier, and I bet you can guess.
Is it from ReZero?
Mm-mm.
Okay, then I can't even think of what it would
You've
be.
either never heard of her, or you're gonna be really upset when I say it because it's gonna make perfect sense.
Oh, is it fucking 02 from Darling in the Franxx? Okay, good, because I
mean, but no.
Oh. Who?
It is Albedo from Overlord.
Okay, yeah, that does make sense. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest I Overlord left a bitter taste in my mouth after
Really?
season 2. Yeah, because season
Okay.
2 was just the biggest bullshit lizard Romeo and Juliet story that had nothing to do with the rest of the plot, and I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
And then I watched season 3, couldn't tell you anything that happened because I was just so bitter about season 2 already.
Season 4 came out.
I know.
Season 4 was good. Season 4 was very good.
Isn't there like
Worth
some
watching.
weird perverted dragon guy in it too? There's like a dragon who's like a little off.
A little, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone was watching it with me, or they were watching it, and I was doing something else, and I caught a little bit of it. And I was like, "That's weird." Okay, but either way, like I liked Overlord, and it was just unfortunate that season 2 really pissed me off. But I do actually have, or is it Overlord Volume 1 and 2, which I thought was weird because I opened them thinking that they were light novels, but they're actually manga. But Overlord is based off a light novel, so they must have made the manga after the anime? Or after the light novel? Because I thought...
I think it was after the light novel, but I'm not totally sure. I feel like I remember them making the manga after the show, like maybe after like the first season had aired or something.
I feel like that's the case because I remember hearing that it was based off of a light novel, and then I have these 2 volumes, and I'm like, oh, light novels, okay, I don't really read them, but whatever. And then I open it, and it's straight up manga. Also, I love this shelf that I've gotten too.
It's
because,
great.
like, we went to IKEA, I built it, and I was like, I put the first set of manga in there. I was like, I don't think there's enough room for all my manga. Little did I know, I still have half right here, another full top, and then the bottom is just DVDs that I wanted to put in there. But in here I have My Hero Academia 1 through 10, My Hero Academia Vigilantes, which I really hope they make an anime out of because it's really good.
If there was something for My Hero that I would read, it would be that. Because all of the show is going to be, or all the manga for the main show is going to be in anime form.
Yeah.
But I hope that they would make a series of that, because I've seen bits and pieces of that.
Yeah.
Like clips, or I guess images from it, but it looked really good, and if I'm going to read something from that universe, it's going to be that.
I mean, if All Might is Superman, the guy in Vigilantes is Batman, straight up. Like, he doesn't have a quirk, but he's fucking jacked and beats the shit out of people.
Literally Batman.
Yeah, basically, gruffy, fucking unkept. He's basically a non-sexy version. To the common eye, to me, I mean, Batman stan over here. But yeah, I really hope they make an anime for that. And then I have like interspecies reviewers, and then I have all Monster Musume.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
I have all the Monster Musume volumes and the Blu-ray DVD. Then I have interspecies reviewers.
I bet you like Beastars too, huh?
I do actually like Beastars,
Oh my god.
but I think because it's a good soap opera. It's
Fucking
a good
furry. You furry simp.
I cannot confirm nor deny that statement, but I don't think it's because they're animals. I think it's because the actual, like, soap aspect to it, like soap opera. You okay there?
Did you not see the computer screen just light up and then?
I did a little bit, but you know, I decided to. Your just comes up onto the screen.
It's not what you think. I swear.
Good thing this isn't live.
That actually, yeah, that would suck.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely of the degenerate anime community. I mean, that's the thing, is like I come off as very wholesome, and I also don't like to be like degenerate about things in conversation. It's almost like I'm a closet degenerate, where it's like I'm open about talking about it, but I don't ever like to really say, like, you know, the sexual terms, right?
Yeah,
I just feel like it doesn't sound good coming out of my mouth, so I just don't want to say that stuff. But I'm also very open about being like, yeah, I own fucking High School of the Dead and High School of the Dead OVA on Blu-ray. I own Prison School 3 times over. I own fucking all the degenerate animes, and you know, all of Monster Musume, High School DxD, and all that. You know, it's fine.
In a world rated B for boobs.
What
That's the animes.
Yeah.
Just,
What did Sekiro, or not Sekiro? Sekire.
Great game.
Sekire. Yeah, Sekire. It was like, come for the boobs, stay for the action, and the boobs.
Yeah.
It was always good. Man, we've gone through quite a bit of the topics already.
Yeah.
And I guess I could throw out a question that I don't have written down, but I looked up and I was like, oh, you know, that's a good question to ask someone on the podcast.
Remember, kids, ask everybody every question you find on the Google.
True, yeah. And if Google can't give you an answer, ask your parents. I'm cutting that. What?
I don't have parents.
Oh, jeez.
I'm
All right,
scared.
Batman. It's not true. I've met both your parents. Yeah, I mean, where to even go from here? I really. How about we take a little bit of time to talk about one of my favorite animes ever that I don't get to talk about with anybody else but you, Black Clover.
All right.
How amazing is it that shows like Naruto, shows like My Hero Academia, right? Huge mainstream successes, can't write a single female character correctly. And yet Black Clover writes every single female character,
all of them,
so well. Mario
all
Leona
of them are so good.
Mario Leona, Vermilion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, dude. Probably
So good.
Probably the most badass female character in anime next to like Android 18, right? Like,
Yeah.
just so badass and amazing. And I love that Black Clover does what those shows didn't do, which is you have like your group, right? You have the squad members of the Black Bulls, and each and every single one of them is important, shows their importance, gets character development, and has a story behind them that doesn't feel shoehorned in. Where like Fairy Tail actually did that. Granted, like I don't like Fairy Tail, but that's one thing I gotta give up to Fairy Tail, is that all the side characters got backstory and character development, but that felt shoehorned in. That felt like they didn't.
But even in Black Clover, like that was one of my issues with both Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, and a lot of shonens actually, is like the side bits where they develop characters that are either directly or indirectly important to the main story are just so pointless.
Mm-hmm.
Like
filler almost.
Like as much as I loved, like in Boruto, and I didn't watch all of it, but there is a part in Boruto where Kakashi and Guy go
To a sauna.
Like, to the spa or sauna.
Yeah, they go to a sauna with Asana's daughter. Yeah.
Like, sure, it was great. It was very like slice of lifey, but it's not a slice of life show. Whereas Black Clover, they weave in all of those pieces into the main storyline, and all of the characters that are important in those side stories end up being extremely important in the main stories. Like for
I know exactly what you're gonna say. Vanessa?
Yes.
With the Queen of the Witches arc. I was gonna say that's like one of the best arcs, and it's directly revolved around a side character who also added is a girl.
Yeah, who I would argue the Witch Queen or whatever becomes almost like a main character because of how important her role is later on. And of course, I don't want to like give too many details, but
and she also develops as a character. The quote unquote villain of the arc, you know, and I say quote because kind of, but not really. But like she even changes throughout it, and it revolves around Vanessa's story and her character development. Charmy, just out of nowhere, like we like Charmy, and Charmy gets these moments, but then in the height of the elf reincarnation arc, she just out of nowhere. We had no idea, no expectation.
Oh my god, mommy? I mean, mommy?
Mommy? Sorry. Yeah. She just. I love all those characters, and Noelle, probably one of the best love interests as far to the main character. Like she develops. She's not annoying, right? Like where Hinata in Naruto, like that's a love interest, but. Like, we knew how she felt about Naruto, but throughout the show, there was really no development between the two, except, like, the pain arc.
Yes, and then, even then, it wasn't... I wouldn't say it was development, it was, oh, you exist, from his side. Because before that, like,
it was a close friend that got killed.
Exactly.
Yeah, not even like, oh, this is the woman that I love that got killed, right?
Yeah, and then I feel like at the end of Shippuden, they kind of, like... Naruto, Hinata, bonk.
Yeah.
They just shove them together and then they're married. Like, sure, it's perfect. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's great.
Yeah.
But there's no... You don't get to experience the development of their relationship as literally, eventually, two of the most important characters in the entire series at all.
Yeah, from Naruto's perspective. We only get Hinata's perspective on it. Which, I guess, is a cool way of doing it, but, like, the show is literally called Naruto. Like, he didn't even realize that he liked her until the movie that took place after the event of the one canon movie in all of Naruto. And then they shoehorned in this fucking, like, red scarf thing from their childhood. And it was like, also, one of the most ridiculous things, if you've seen Naruto the movie, that's the movie, the one canon movie where they develop their relationship.
I haven't seen that.
Okay, so... There's literally a scene where, like, she's holding onto the scarf that she knitted for Naruto, and it's, like, caught onto, like, something on the side of a building, and she's, like, holding onto it, and it's ripping. Her feet are on the building, but she's, like, holding on, and then it rips, and she falls, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
But wait.
But chakra feet?
Wait. Yeah, wait.
But
they can literally walk on walls and,
and
walk on water.
And shit. Yeah, what? Like... They're literally ninja Jesuses. Like they could fucking chakra feet.
Ninja Jesuses.
Like that's really what they are, and yet she like doesn't do that. I don't know. Maybe I need to rewatch it.
She's too caught up in her emotions of the scarf. Distracted by love.
Yeah.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. But I love that every character in Black Clover, minuscule or main, they just like even the diamond from the Diamond Kingdom dude who had
whatever his name is, I can't remember his name.
I think it's Mars.
Yes, that's it.
He like in the dungeon arc, right? He's the villain, and then he gets development afterwards, and then he comes back for the Queen arc, right? And it all worked so well. Like I think the writing that I think it's Yubo. No, I think I'm thinking of Bleach. But I think Yuki Tabata should be regarded as a good storyteller on the same levels of like Oda, right? And despite what you think of One Piece, Oda is an amazing writer of a story. Like, he created a world that everything worked and nothing felt convoluted, nothing had to get retconned. He made everything work. And as far as storytelling goes, like, Tabata really did know how to like make characters work, stories work, make them come back so they made sense. I mean, let alone the power system is actually really well done, and the fact that like their narrator even will explain that in this moment of emotional growth and like within a fight, the struggle, they then develop a new spell where like
see all I
in
got
Dragon Ball, it's like, oh,
like,
they're losing the fight. Okay, we'll just give them a power up, right? No explanation.
Right. Yeah. Well, like that's one thing that I always picked up from One Piece that, you know, was a great lesson for me when I started watching it, was make sure to eat your fruits and vegetables, kids. They give you superpowers. Yeah,
yeah, and don't just eat ramen for every meal, and also make sure you check your milk to see if it's spoiled. It's a great reference to the first season of the first show. Actually, Dane made a great reference to the acorn guy, my guy's acorn, where he's always competing with Kakashi, and yeah. I was like, wow, what an obscure filler episode reference, you know. It worked perfectly. But how about we get to the nitty gritty, the good.
All right.
All right. So here we are, top 5 anime list. I'm excited to get into this. I really hope, like I said earlier, I really hope that I actually know some of these. I'm sure I will.
You will. You 100% will. I wouldn't be surprised if you knew all of them.
Okay. All right. Well then, how about you give me number 5 and let's start this thing off.
Here's the thing: is I wasn't able to put these in order, and it was really actually difficult for me to pick a top 5 because there's a lot that I really like. So I will just go from the bottom.
So am I gonna have to not? Am I gonna have to not number them and just throw them up?
I'll go from the bottom of the list.
Okay. I'm numbering them.
I'm assuming I subconsciously wrote them in a way that makes sense to me. So.
Okay, cool. That's completely fair and probably the best way to do it.
Number 5 on my list is Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right.
Super good.
That's the 3rd Hunter x Hunter entry, I think. No, Dane had it, and then I jokingly put it on Codexes. But Hunter x Hunter.
One that I don't know anybody said yet. Because I've watched every episode of this, I think, and I think there's one on my list that no one said.
But Hunter x Hunter, number 5, and would you care to elaborate why?
I decide based on a couple things. Number 1 is animation, right? How much I like the animation style, how well it flows, all that stuff.
Fair.
Number 2 is the actual, like, because I'm a big action anime or action show kind of person, so I like the big fights and like the complicated like hand-to-hand fight scenes and the grand powers and all that stuff. Like, that's all really fun for me, so that's another part of it. The actual development of the characters, like we were talking about with Black Clover, right? The way that characters develop is great in this show, I think. Especially with Gon, how he goes from being kind of, he's still strong, but he's still very childish at the beginning of the show. However, like near the end of the anime, he becomes, it's probably right around the middle, he becomes this still childish, but can just like flip that switch and just go almost god mode the kid. Like basically I think it really starts either during or after the tournament arc.
Oh, Heaven's Tower.
Yeah.
I think that, like, with all jokes aside, because this is definitely gonna sound like a joke, but when he fought Pito in the Chimera Ant arc, he grew up very
yeah.
quickly. And I know that sounds like a joke because he did literally physically grow up, but he did also just like flip that switch of he was always happy-go-lucky, right? And then
Sure.
that was the first time that we'd actually seen him incredibly serious and pissed off. And
Well, I think that had been brewing since that character.
yeah, since the beginning of that arc.
Yeah. Well, okay. At this point, if you haven't watched this show, like, eat shit.
Yeah. Top 5 is always going to be spoiler ridden.
Yeah.
That's good. I do like that entry, and I agree as well. Like, I think before Black Clover came around, I think Hunter x Hunter had definitely like the best power system, and it's arguably still the best power system. And as someone who loves the same shit, right? Like power-ups, battles, right? Not to take the shine away from Hunter x Hunter, but that's what Naruto had over everything else was battle choreography, right? And that's like when it comes to actual fighting, I don't want to see blinking like flickers because then it's just like
yeah, when they have the little like it's like a dash of light and then like a pew and then pew, pew, pew.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly. It's lazy.
As great as that is, used very sparingly.
Yeah.
It is. It's just lazy.
Yeah. In moderation, it's fine. But Hunter x Hunter, definitely during the Heaven's Tower arc, I feel like I'm not getting the name right, but I know it's Heaven something. When he fought Hisoka, who has the bungee gum, which has both properties of rubber and gum.
Yeah.
One
of the coolest powers ever, by the way.
Yeah.
Like Hisoka's like, if I had to do like a top 5 anime villain, which
we can do that. I'm down to do that.
He's probably top 2.
Okay. Yeah. I can understand your. I definitely think we should do a video where it's like
for sure top 5.
Yeah.
But I'd have to put some thought into that.
I definitely think we should do a video where it's like we both create our own and we go 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I'm down to do that. Yeah, Hisoka's great, and he never explains his power like ever. So like we really have to figure that out.
That's part of the reason I love him as a villain is he never really he kind of explains it, but he never really gives you like a ton of detail about it.
I just love that that's the meme. It's like he always does say that his power has the properties of both rubber and gum. Like it's such a great meme. Awesome. Yeah, I love that Hunter x Hunter is on here. Let's move on to number 4. As it should be, respectfully, yes.
Number 4 is Demon Slayer.
Okay. And as someone who hasn't read the manga, that's actually surprising because I really like Demon Slayer because I've read the whole manga. It's done. And I was less into the anime as I was the manga, but the next arc in the anime, by the way, sorry, I hate to cut you off from your top 5 moment, but I do have to say, because of Demon Slayer being the topic, there's probably gonna be a total of like 4 or 5 seasons.
Makes sense.
I think this next season, in my opinion, is gonna be the best one.
I know the gist of the story. Like
they did release a trailer.
I've seen for like the entirety of the manga. I know the gist of it because I've read a lot of spoilers on it, both intentionally and unintentionally.
Yeah.
And I have bits and pieces of important information that keeps me very excited for what's coming next.
And it's enough to. Even though we've only had 2 seasons in a movie, technically 2 seasons because they put the movie into one of the seasons, which, in my opinion, was annoying. But it's fine.
Did they?
Yeah. So Mugen Train came out, and then when season 2 started, they started with
Mugen
Train.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So we only got like 11 episodes of entertainment arc, but it's
been a while since I watched it. So.
But yeah. So number 4, Demon Slayer, and your reasoning.
The main reason for that is the art style.
Okay, yeah, ufotable.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And the way that they incorporate CGI, which I hate CGI shows, but the way that they incorporate it, the first time I've watched both seasons, I didn't even notice that there was CGI in the show. And I went back and like I've seen obviously like clips of it from like Facebook and stuff like that, or wherever.
People discussing the CGI in it. Yeah.
Like I went back and I watched some parts of it and I was like, holy shit, there's CGI there, and I didn't notice.
Yeah, went right over the head.
Yeah, that's one of the big ones for me. But also like the story, the I'm a big fan of like the sword fights. So that was another one that was really close to getting on my list, was Rurouni Kenshin.
Fair.
But there were just others that I think were more impactful for me.
Yes.
And so that would be in top 10. But like
favorite Demon Slayer character? Inosuke.
I mean, besides the obligatory Nezuko,
she's a child.
My favorite Demon Slayer character is because she's adorable.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
Uzui. He's adorable.
Yeah. No,
Rengoku, he's adorable. my favorite donut
character
boy
is.
I mean, they're all adorable.
I think this is hard. This is difficult. I have to say, oh my god, I was not prepared for this question.
Haha! Journalism at its finest.
Hold on, let me think for a second.
Okay, favorite Demon Slayer.
Well, that's Demon what?
Favorite Demon Slayer.
If I had to pick my favorite Demon Slayer, it would be probably Inosuke.
Okay. Yeah. Favorite that makes sense.
Just because of his entertainment value.
Yeah.
He's hilarious as a character.
Dude, the two muscle mouses that bring him his swords when his head's through the roof. That was amazing. I love that.
No, sorry. Changing my answer. The muscle mouses are my favorite character in the entire show.
I was gonna say favorite Hashiras. Do you have a favorite Hashira? And why is it Rengoku?
Because good French fry boy.
Yeah. Delicious. Also, I do
favorite
really.
Hashira has to be I don't know why, and I haven't read anything about him yet, but I really like the Stone Hashira.
He's a good
Just
character.
Like the way that they portray him is like he's really cool. His character design is really cool, and I think that he will be a very fun character to see on screen. So
he will be.
Yeah, current and future favorite, I think.
Yeah, he's a good one.
But if I had to pick a favorite demon in that show, it would be oh gosh, what's his name? The one where the drum guy.
Oh yeah.
That was such a cool fight and such a cool like way to really keep people engaged on watching what's going on, because the way that the different angles and the way that the fight played out was just so good.
And I honestly liked his origin story, if you will.
Yeah, his origin story was great.
And the fact that he was a lower 6, right, in the 12, and then he got basically excommunicated.
Yeah, right.
And his whole thing was trying to like redeem himself, and you know, and as far as what's in the anime, I'll leave it at that. Tanjiro's execution of these big demons and his moments afterwards, or like during his execution, I really liked his with that guy the most, because the demon realized that as he was jumping around, he wasn't like trying to like ruin his work, his writing or whatever, and he recognized that, and he said, your drum playing was beautiful or whatever, amazing, and he was like, no one had ever told me that in my life. That's why I'm
That's
where
another
I
big
am
reason
now.
why I really like the show is they do a really good job at humanizing, I guess is not the right word, but that's what I'm going to use.
No, I think that's fair. I think that's
Humanizing the bad guys, because a lot of times characters are not, they're not brought around like that, and they're not seen in that light. Whereas in this show, it's like, in reality, they're just people who were honestly fucking screwed over really bad, and
yeah,
like
and
you kind of understand why they are the way they are.
yeah, and they're
You
all
you
tied back
sympathize
to
a lot.
yeah, and they're all tied back to Muzan.
Yeah,
And yeah,
I think you mean Michael Jackson.
I do. Teehee. I do. Yeah, and I think with the parallels that Demon Slayer and Tanjiro have to My Hero and Deku, absolutely shits on My Hero and Deku as a whole.
Have you seen the memes of like Tanjiro and Deku hugging? It's like Zenitsu and no, it's Bakugo and Inosuke, and it's that scene from Jurassic Park where the two
Oh yeah, yeah.
T-Rex and like the Spinosaurus are
Yeah. I haven't seen that, but that sounds absolutely perfect.
It's so funny.
Yeah. I have my own thoughts on Deku and My Hero, which were actually covered a little bit in the newest video that just came out, which was your favorite anime characters are trash. I did a tier list of anime characters, and yeah, I definitely quickly brushed over Deku as probably the worst MC in shonen, in my opinion.
I mean, he's kind of one of the most OP MCs that's just a blithering idiot.
I mean, no, he's smart. He's just a big crybaby and like didn't actually.
But he
as far as deserving
like
one for all,
he overuses his abilities, but he also underutilizes his ability, I think, for the vast majority of the show that we've seen. And there's I know that in the arc that is going on right now, there's a lot of growth, and we talked about this a long time ago when the school competition whatever arc was
Class A versus
air.
Class B. Yeah.
And I think that's where he really started to actually kind of
when Black Whip came out.
He started to not be an idiot with his power as much, whereas before he was just like, I'm gonna break all my limbs to help my friends, and then I can't do anything after.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, it insert the chocolate seller, the chocolate bag seller from SpongeBob. Dude, so I watched it. Someone dubbed over the when he's in the hospital after breaking all of his bones, and they're all standing there, and they just dub over that guy from SpongeBob, where he's like, "Every morning I break my arms, every night I break my legs." So good.
But all that to say, it's still a great show. It's not in my top 5, but it's still a great show.
Oh, thank God. Okay. All right.
Wait, where's my pen? I just got it.
Did you just Death Note me?
Macadamia nut.
Oh. I thought you just Death Noted me.
That would be fun. I should do that.
Oh yeah, totally, for sure.
And I can have your manga. It's perfect.
Okay, so number 3.
Number 3, you're gonna like this one. You're gonna like this one a lot. JoJo.
Yes!
All of JoJo, because every
go.
season of it is so good in its own way.
Fucking go. When I was working where I was when I met you, had you watched it all yet? Was I still trying to get you to watch it?
So I had multiple people trying to get me to watch it at once. And it's the same as One Piece, where I came and started watching it and loved every second of it. And it just the memes are so good.
Everything's a JoJo's reference.
But it is. Everything everywhere is a JoJo reference. But it just, the show itself outside of the memes is so good. And it took the exact opposite effect that One Piece had on me, where I was like, oh, the first episode is fantastic.
Yeah.
And sure, it's super over the top and it's way out there, but that's kind of what gives it its charm.
That's the whole point. The whole point is that it's ridiculous.
It's like One Punch Man.
Yeah.
It's like One Punch Man. The whole point of it is to be ridiculous.
Yeah. It's satire. It's just like entirely satire. But yeah,
which I find interesting that in Stone Ocean is slightly less satire than the previous ones have been.
Yeah.
There's no oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. So I think this is going to be probably the longest segment in the top 5 anime list for this one, because we got to talk about JoJo's for a second.
All right. I haven't finished Stone Ocean yet. I'm like halfway through the second part of the season.
So I have actually, I read all of Stone Ocean before it came out. It's the only arc of JoJo's that I have read, because I finished part 5 and I was like, I just really want to see part 6 already. So I'll leave. We can leave part 6 out of this, but 2 very important questions as a JoJo's fan. Who's your favorite JoJo, and what's your favorite part?
Ooh, okay.
And they don't have to be the same, you know. Because
my favorite JoJo is Jonathan Joestar, I think.
The first one.
The first one.
Okay. Unique.
Jotaro's great. Whatever his name, Josuke is also great.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the original JoJo is still my favorite.
Yeah.
Because
the
he's
gentleman
very
level.
He's very like unique in that he's very posh and very almost like old-timey superhero kind of vibe. Of course, with all the JoJo flair that goes with it. Whereas Jotaro and Josuke are almost too similar, I think.
Angsty teenagers, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Where I really like Jolene, but she also is in the same boat. A little bit different, but it.
I mean, we can mention that first episode of Stone Ocean where she's like screaming about how embarrassed she is for getting caught by the guy masturbating.
Yeah, that was fantastic. That was a hilarious episode.
And favorite part?
My favorite part. See, that's hard because all of it is so good.
And you can include part 1 and part 2 of part 3 together if you wanted.
My favorite part is where the majority of the show, the section of the show where they're traveling with old man Joseph.
Oh, so what I mean by part is like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5.
Part 3. Part 3 is the part where they are in the desert.
Yes.
Yeah.
Part 3 is Jotaro going to Egypt.
Yes. Yeah. Because the Doggo's a great character.
Yeah. Iggy, yeah. Iggy's great. Rest in peace.
Great. No.
Well, I'll give you mine real quick. My favorite JoJo is Joseph. He's the fucking best. I mean, part 2 starts off with just pulling out a Tommy gun out of his ass and just shooting up an entire restaurant.
Yeah, that was great.
For 1, and 2, his I don't know what the term is, but like it's katakana, but when spoken, but like his Japanese English words, right? Where he's like, "Oh my god, holy shit!" You know, like like all of that, and the fact that he's part 2, part 3, and part 4. When he's like old man Joseph in part 4, and the fact that he was such a stud that he fucking cheated on Suzy Q and had another kid, right? I mean, not that I'm promoting infidelity, right? But like, just saying that, you know, Joseph is the fucking man. He is definitely the best.
If I was to agree with you, you'd never see me again.
Right. I pick up what you're I smell what you're stepping in. And part 4 would be my favorite with Josuke in the town of Morio. Like, I just love that the town of Morio is a character within itself. Like, the town, everything that happens in it, like, just the setting is put up really well. I really like the art style. I think, oh, extra question, just real quick. Best mom in JoJo.
Ooh, best mom in
Josuke's mom, in my opinion.
Josuke's mom. I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one.
Whew. I mean, Lisa is great, don't get me wrong, but yeah,
does not compare. Does not. Yeah.
It makes me understand why old man Joseph did what he did, right?
Yeah.
I absolutely love JoJo's. I love that it's number 3 in your top 5. I mean, you already have 2 that are not in any other people's lists. I'm enjoying the fact that
one.
Yeah.
The next one is the one that I think I didn't realize that these 2 were not in anybody's list. I didn't obviously I didn't take notes or anything.
Right.
I literally I finished making this list today. I've been thinking about it since we started talking about this, and I've had such a hard time trying to figure it out. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna write down 5, and that's what I'm gonna go with.
And to everybody else out there, like, the top 5 is precious to each and every person. They could be interchangeable. It doesn't matter. These are the 5, right? The ones that make the most sense.
And I think for me, it's the ones that had the most impact on me, as both as a person and as
a weeb.
A weeb, yes, exactly.
I mean, that's how I made my top 50 list, was the impact. So people dislike my top 50 list because certain things are above other things, and I'm like, I base it off of the impact that they had on me.
Okay, sure, but also it's your top 50 list, not their top 50 list, and anything like this is going to be subjective, right? It's based on you and not anybody else's opinion. Like, I don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks about what I like. Kick rocks.
And opinions are the most arguable thing. That's why I wanted this segment to be reoccurring, because I just want people to argue about it.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'm a little mischievous.
Me too. No, I like to stoke the fires of sibling rivalry and all that stuff.
Hell yeah.
And rivalry between friends is my favorite.
Yes. I mean, I know that when I was working at the shop, we would sit down and talk for hours.
Bro, I wasted so much time at that place. Literally, I would finish work at noon, and we would hang out until fucking 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Which was great. Hanging out with you was great. You, me, and Dane for literally days. It was awesome. But good God, we wasted so much time.
Oh yeah. And this was in the Dane episode as well, but I mentioned to him, I was like, I was watching part 5 week to week while working. You guys will all be hanging out in the front.
I remember that.
And I'm sitting over alone on my laptop just watching part 5 as it came out.
Well, because I would always give you a hard time about it, because I was like, shouldn't you be working? Are you working hard or hardly working? What are you doing?
Yeah, and my other coworkers are just hanging out talking with you, so it's not even really any different. I'm just actually, progressing in life because I'm watching JoJo's.
Agreed.
Getting cultured. All right, number 2. Give it to me.
Number 2. Gundam, specifically Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Yeah, saw that one coming. With how much you talked about it,
you've heard me talk about it a lot, and it was one of my. I always liked Gundam. I watched what was it, Gundam Wing? I think as a kid, I watched the original Gundam. I think I watched Robotech. I watched.
Isn't there a unicorn one?
Yeah, Gundam. I don't think I watched Gundam Unicorn, but I believe I watched Gundam Seed, and I also watched 00, which was really good. But
you mean
IBO
02? Which is Gundam.
IBO was still by and large my favorite.
Yeah.
Just the story development, the way that the main character interacted with everybody, all of the side characters were so well written. The fact that the way the show ended also was so good. sad but good,
Mhm.
but also like my guy went out like a fucking champ.
Yeah. I've never seen a
And
single Gundam. Just FYI,
you should, if you're gonna watch any of them, I would watch this one.
I'm
And
just
that's a
not
very
I'm just not a Gundam guy. Like I don't really like mech suits fighting other mech suits, which is funny because I love Code
See,
Geass.
this is a lot less like did you ever play like Mech Assault
No.
or like Mech Warrior Online? Great game, by the way.
I've heard of Mech Warriors. Like
it's a lot less like big clunky robot and more like
martial arts robot.
yes,
Yeah.
kind of, yeah. Which is I think part of why I enjoyed it a lot more.
Mhm.
And I think that the way that the way the characters are written, the way that they treat the Gundams as this like relic of humanity, basically, because at this point in the show, like it's a long time past, and Gundams, as they're known, like the special ones that are fancy and do super cool shit, they're kind of in this show unicorns.
Mhm.
And
Mythical,
it
yeah.
basically, yeah, legends effectively.
I was just about to
And
say, yeah, legends, yeah.
And so, not to give too much away, but like the main character and some of the other characters, they find these like legendary-ish Gundams that are just these gnarly machines, and it's, I think almost every part of the show is fantastic. It's definitely worth the watch if you haven't already seen it.
Well, I just have to apologize ahead of time for not being able to go as in depth with your number 2 over everything else that we talked about, because it is higher than everything else. But I'll say this: 2 things. One quick fun fact: the guy who created Gundam also created isekai as a genre. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he created the first isekai. But the second thing is that I never watched Gundam because me as a person, as a whole, I don't really like space sci-fi type
Oh,
things.
see, I'm on the complete space sci-fi camp. Like, I love all that shit. Like, I have a group of friends that we play like Star Citizen together. Like, I played. Like,
I've seen you play
like,
Star Citizen.
all the space games.
Yeah.
Like, that's part of why I was really excited for No Man's Sky, because I love that kind of stuff. And then No Man's Sky was just a steaming pile of shit.
Yeah.
But
not my cup of tea. But I will say there are Gundam-esque animes out there, right? That I do actually really love and are some of my favorites. Like Code Geass has
like,
mechs in
Geass,
it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Code Geass, Gurren Lagann was
Gurren Lagann
amazing.
as well.
I loved that anime. It didn't make my top 5, but it was probably like number 6 or number 7 on my list, easily.
Tenchi Muyo War on Geminar also. Like, I love Tenchi Muyo War on Geminar. It's not an amazing show, but it has a very near and dear place in my heart. I actually watched Tenchi Muyo GXP as well, which was like a space cop kind of story, but Tenchi Muyo.
There was a couple more too. There was like I think it was called Gargantia and the Verdurous Planet or something.
Yes.
So good,
dude.
It was so good.
Oh my god, because I thought of it while you were talking about Gundam, and then I forgot about it, and I was like, damn it, I wanted to mention that one. Gargantia on a Verdurous Planet was such a random find. It was such a diamond in the rough, and I just it was on Netflix, and I was like, I'll check this out. Why not? And it was one of the most beautiful animes I'd ever seen. It just, the colors were so vibrant. And I'm also biased and a softie when it comes to island settings. I love islander settings. I love that.
Of course
shit.
you do, you fucking One Piece loser.
One Piece is so not like that. It's so crazy. No, it's more
everything I see about One Piece is they're on an island. They have to go to this island. They have to go to this place. They have to.
That's the beginning, but after it gets to a point where like islands are more treated like countries, right? In the beginning, yes, it's very much like go to this island, go to that island, but it gets to a point where it's more of like countries and governments where it's less.
Yeah. What was the other one? Darling. I didn't watch all of it. I think. My wife was watching it at the time, Darling in the Franxx.
I'll never watch
it. I saw clips and bits of it, and it looked interesting. But yeah, it was great. Also, #1 mecha anime, Black Clover.
It's true, dude. I remember when that episode happened, and you came into my work, and you were like, "Yeah, so I guess Black Clover is a mech anime now." I'm like, "Yes, it is. It is." Oh, so good. I love that, Henry.
There's so many, but yeah, that was great.
You guys are my friends.
All I could think of was Finding Nemo. All I could think of throughout that entire section was Finding Nemo. Every time he talks, I'm like, Dory?
Yeah, right. P. Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney.
Yep.
I'll also never forget that, but...
No, never, ever.
Yeah.
It's like how to spell bananas. You'll never forget it if you ever...
I'm dyslexic, so I'm not even gonna... So, okay. Well, I'm glad that we then delved a little bit into Gundams, but I it's funny because I knew how much you liked Gundam, and especially IBO, but I kind of forgot, and then once you said it, I was like, that's right. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because I know.
I'm glad that you know Gargantia, though. Like, I don't think I've ever met anybody else who's ever watched it.
Oh, dude, it was such a random find, and yeah. I'm so glad that I did, because it's so beautiful, and the story's also good. Don't get me wrong. It's just like, it was what drew me was the color, the setting, like the fact that it's an. Yeah. I recommend it.
Everything about it was great.
Yeah, I recommend it. Hell yeah. All right, you ready? You ready to...
Yeah. Are you? I don't think you're going to like my #1.
Your steaming pile #1? Is it?
Yeah, I don't think you're going to like it.
All right, hit me with it.
It's also very... I don't want to say it's like a very pick-me anime, but it kind of is. Dragon Ball Z.
All right, so thank you for joining us with the podcast. No. You know what? Honestly, that's I turned the camera off. Honestly, I think it's a fair choice. Personally, I prefer original Dragon Ball over Z. But that's just me being like an OG over.
If I really had to like get picky with it, I would say I probably liked GT more than I like Dragon Ball Z.
No, you're trolling. I'm
kidding.
Okay. I was gonna say, bro.
I mean, GT was fun, but yeah, no.
Dude, I've tried to watch GT like 3 times, and I can't get. But I want to. I want to see Super Baby, whatever, Baby Vegeta, whatever it is. I don't understand, because I haven't seen it, and I want to see SSJ4. Like, I want to see that.
That was the best part about it. Was definitely what did they call it? Half monkey, half man. That's
I guess. Was
that's
it?
What I called it as a kid.
Was it?
I think I called him Monkey Man. That's what I called him.
Oh, I thought what's the actual ape form called? It's like Oogan.
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
It's not Oolong.
Great T.
Yeah, best character in the Dragon Ball series, Oolong.
Mm-hmm.
Next to Poir. Two was worth
yeah,
it.
no, that's like, I think for me, this one made the top of my list because I have been into like martial arts for a long time, and like, you know, my background and all that stuff too. Yeah. And so this was one of the ones that I was just always watching as a kid, and I've watched it basically my entire life, for better or for worse. And it's one of those ride or die ones for me, especially like if they come out with the next series was like Dragon Ball Super Heroes or something. I'm gonna watch the shit out of that. And like, I really enjoy Dragon Ball Super. It's just one of those ones that it, for better or for worse, it's close to my heart.
Yeah, and honestly, thinking about it, it's very understandable. Not only with your backstory, but also just the fact that it did really pioneer Western acceptance of anime. Like that and Cowboy Bebop really drew the Western audience into being like, this is actually good. And guess what? Turns out the Japanese can write better stories than fucking American writers.
But also like Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, Pokemon, and let's not forget Hamtaro.
I can forget Hamtaro, but you know, it's fine. I'll
No,
give
no,
it.
no. Don't forget Hamtaro.
Yes, I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh is like not my number one, but it's like Yu-Gi-Oh is the reason why I am who I am today. And
Well, I
like,
remember when we were still playing Magic together. It was like you, me, Dane, a couple other people, Wyatt, and whoever else was there. You would always talk about Yu-Gi-Oh too.
Yeah.
Like pretty consistently. And Dane played it. I mean, I played it. Dane played it. Like all of us did.
Yeah.
And it was great. I had the dual disc and everything.
Dude,
like...
I still have my Obelisk dual disc. The ones remember the arc with the Orichalcum guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So their dual disc, I actually have that dual disc. It like looks like Obelisk.
Nice. Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah. And like I do have such a great appreciation for like 90s anime because it's biased for our age group, right? But Dragon Ball Z was literally like the big brother to us, like the big brother to our anime, because like we started with 90s anime, but like little did we know Dragon Ball Z was, or Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z were like the older brothers to us.
Yeah, I would say Dragon Ball Z. You kind of said this too, but I would say Dragon Ball Z was the Western market into anime as a whole.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's on the same scale. As far as popularity, it's close to the same scale as Naruto.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not at that level because Naruto is basically like a national treasure at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But
like,
as far
as manga sales, Naruto does beat out Dragon Ball. But as far as impact on anime, I think Dragon Ball Z has it over
bringing
everything.
People into just the overall like idea of watching anime, I think Dragon Ball is probably better at it than Naruto because it was always on Cartoon Network, and pretty much everybody from my generation and probably yours too at some point watched Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
And now that anime is like a mainstream thing, we don't get bullied for watching anime anymore. Now it's apparently a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
Like,
all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Give us our trauma back. How about that? Like, fucking, we lived through the bullying.
Oh, I know.
These kids have no idea. And this is something I was going to mention earlier. And then we'll wrap this up. But I was going to say, I do really want to have a younger generation on the podcast just to see.
That would be cool.
Like the answer to the first question that started us off, which was what was your first anime, right? And I guarantee you it will either be Demon Slayer or My Hero Academia. I guarantee it. Or Jujutsu Kaisen.
You know what? We'll talk after this.
Okay.
We'll talk after this.
Okay.
Because I might have. I don't know how. Yeah, we'll talk after this.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's move to our outro section. Which, by the way, I always do this, but I guess this is where I'm angled. Okay. I did do it. I forget which episode, but I was like, did you check him out? I didn't know where it was.
Like and subscribe. Like, over here.
No, wait, it's all down there. Oh shit. Yeah, top 5 list right here.
It's all down there.
Yeah.
It is. This is where the magic happens.
This is it. Yeah.
Over there.
This is where all the power-ups happen.
Anyways,
top five anime list right here. I love it. All right, we're into the outro. Skylar, aka BrownGod, thank you so much for being on here. I had a great time.
Yeah, this was a blast.
Yeah, right? Like I feel like it always starts off like a little like nerves, right? Like a little uncomfortable, but then once we really get into the nitty-gritty, like it's really just us doing what we love, which is talking about anime. And
yeah, I mean, it's like having a conversation like we always do. Like when we went to dinner, whatever, like a month ago or something. It's the same shit we always do.
Yeah, and that's always what I want to portray to the audience and to my guest is that just, you know, we're just talking about anime. It's something that we already do. We're already comfortable doing it, and you know, don't worry about anything else. Don't stress about it. Yeah. So
just be prepared to be judged by the entire internet. It's fine. No big deal.
Exactly. So, do you have any plugs, but or social, that you would like to give? And if it's no, that's totally fine.
10 out of 10 plug right here.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Take cap off first.
Yeah. Sturdy glass too. Will not break. All right. That's good. All right.
But I will say that I think everybody should watch Spy Family.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a good one.
I think Spy Family is very good, and Dane is completely wrong on his take about Spy Family.
Yeah, talking from somebody who loves slice of life animes, like.
Dude, right? Like, that's what I told him. I was like, I thought we would finally have a slice of life that we could talk about together, and he just shit on my whole world.
Yeah.
right.
This is he threw a little bit of shade my way. I'm gonna throw it back. Fuck you. Spy Family's fantastic, and you can do whatever you do on weekends when nobody knows what you're doing.
Yeah, and we'll know. We'll find out.
We'll know. We know.
I have some people on the case. All right, let's. How about you close us out? Give us your hot take.
I think One Piece is a dumpster fire.